Welcome to my audience. This is the Thursday Executive Brief. 5 minutes, 1 leadership challenge, 3 executive moves, 1 action for the week. No theory, no fluff, just execution. So let's get to it. Welcome back on the Executive 5. Let's get right into it. Your best managers are carrying structural debt. A lot of executives think their strongest managers are proof that the system is working. They are often proof that it is not. The best managers in a business usually know how to compensate. They anticipate confusion before it spreads. They clean up messy handoffs. They absorb poor sequencing. They translate vague strategy into something usable. They calm people down after leadership changes direction again. They hold teams together while the structure above them keeps leaking. From a distance, that looks like leadership strength. It can also be a warning sign. And you need to be aware of that. Because when your best people are constantly rescuing the business from its own design, they are not just leading, they are subsidizing brokenness. And that debt always comes due. So what's the core challenge here? This is what makes the problem so hard to spot. Strong managers make weak systems look functional. They carry the load quietly. They solve things early. They stop friction from becoming visible. They protect senior leaders from the full cost of bad sequencing, poor role clarity, bloated approvals, conflicting priorities, and half-finished decisions. So the executive team looks at the outcome and thinks we are fine. No, you are buffered, and the buffer is human. This is the danger. The business starts confusing heroic management with healthy structure. The strongest leaders become shock absorbers for a system that should have been redesigned years ago. They carry the emotional load, the decision clutter, the ambiguity, and the recovery work. They do it well, which is exactly why it gets missed. Until one of two things happens. They burn out or they leave. And then suddenly the organization discovers how much hidden weight they were carrying all along. What looked like resilience turns out to have been dependence. That is structural debt. It is the cost of weak design being paid for by strong people. Let's rectify that. Move number 1, stop reading calm as health. One of the laziest executive assumptions is, if the floor is not shaking, the structure must be sound. Not necessarily. Sometimes the floor is steady only because great managers are holding it together with judgment, relationships, and unpaid recovery work. So stop reading calm as proof that the system is clean. Look harder. Where are deadlines being rescued late? Where are middle managers translating senior confusion into operational clarity? Where are your best people constantly fixing handoffs, smoothing conflict, clarifying ownership, or carrying decisions that should have arrived already made? Those are not isolated signs of leadership maturity. They may be evidence that your system is leaning on human excellence to survive avoidable weakness. Move number 2, find the work that only exists because the system is poor. This is the work nobody budgets for. The extra conversations, the duplicated checking, the emotional cleanup, the re-explaining, the escalations that could have been prevented, the constant effort required to make bad sequencing look manageable. Ask your best managers a sharper question. What are you doing every week that should not need doing at all? That question opens a door. It moves the conversation away from performance and toward design. It reveals the hidden labor that never appears in reports but drains time, attention, and leadership energy every single day. And once you see that labor, you can no longer pretend the system is healthy. Move number 3, redesign the structure before you reward the heroics. Many executives see these managers, admire them, and reward them. That is not enough. If all you do is praise the people carrying structural debt, you are still asking them to carry it. The real leadership move is to remove the debt, not celebrate the person paying interest on it. Fix the unclear role boundaries, fix the approval clutter, fix the conflict priorities, fix the sequencing, and fix the ambiguity that keeps getting pushed downward and cleaned up by your best people. Strong managers should be building capability, not compensating for preventable design failure. Let me give you your weekly challenge. This week, sit with one of your best managers and ask them 3 questions. What do you fix repeatedly? What confusion keeps returning? What burden are you carrying that leadership has mistaken for normal? Then, do not admire the answer, trace it upward, and remove the cause. Your best managers are often the last people to complain. That is why executives miss the warning. But the strongest people in your business should not have to spend their best energy making a broken structure look healthy. If they are carrying the system is already in debt. And if you ignore that debt long enough, you do not just lose managers, you lose the stability they were quietly buying for you. And I hope I see you again next week, Thursday on the Executive 5. Have a fantastic week. Take care. And that was it for today. Remember, precision beats intensity every time. Execute the move, run the challenge. And I'll see you next Thursday for the next Executive Brief.